Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat, and I am back for month 3 of my self-inflicted challenge to make masculine cards. Yep, I don't like making masculine type cards, and so I've made myself do at least one card every month. So I am on month 3. So far we have done industrial, cute, and now we are on to typography. I just thought it was a simple kind of pattern paper thing to do. Could have easily done it with stamping or whatever, but I remembered I'd got these black and white. Oh, goodness me, my husband's just sneezed very loudly in a totally different room, so apologies if you could hear that, and bless you to bin. Yeah, I remembered I'd got this black and white paper from Die Cuts with a View. I've had it for yonks, this massive stack of cardstock, and I am struggling to get it used at all. So I thought, no, let's get it out, let's get it used. Just grabbed 2 of the panels, 2 of the pieces of paper here, and just decided to make some slimline cards. Why slimline? Just because I've not made one for a little while. I actually made slimline in the first month of this challenge. I don't think I've made a slimline card since. So, it's been a couple of months and I thought, why not? Plus, it would use up a whole host of this paper. So, I have cut the 2 pieces into 2 different panels, keeping them very simple. These are so simple, these cards, because it's just a cut and stick element. One of them I have matte that smaller panel with grey, and on this one it's like a dark purpley blue, just to bring in a little bit of colour on one of them. But otherwise, obviously, these are black, white and grey cards. So next up, I'm umming and ahhing about what to do, and I decided to get another piece of paper out of that pack. This one that's got the big K on it, and I'm just going to cut that strip of grey and use that for a 3rd layer on these cards. I decided to do some die cutting in different shapes. I'm umming and ahhing about what to do, and I decided to go with an oval and a square, but in smaller sizes so that it will fit nicely on the card. I do faff a bit when I'm doing the die cutting to actually try and make the pattern work, so it's sort of almost centralised in the shape, so that's why it's taking a little longer off screen there. And now I am going to die cut the coordinating colour for each of the cards to make a base for it. So I like a matte and layer, so there we go. Obviously the grey looks not very great on there, but there you go. Right, I'm now going to work on my sentiment. So my sentiment, I decide, oh, apologies, I'm going to stack these up first. But I decide that I'm going to do a waffle flower sentiment that I am going to stamp and emboss, and then die cut out and stack up. Because these are really simple cards, so I'm at least adding a little bit of dimension. I suppose what I've not mentioned is these are quite sparkly. This particular pack of papers is, it's got that encapsulated glitter kind of stuff in it. So it is a bit glittery, but it's not in your face glitter. It's just sort of like a texture more than anything. Yeah, I think that's the best way of describing it. Right, I messed up a little bit on this in terms of the first sentiment on that grey. It doesn't stamp very well and therefore doesn't emboss very well, so I turn it over. I forget to let it cool. This is where it then goes wrong for a different reason, but I rescue it, and that is, oh look, all of the powder is sort of sticking. Oh, you can't even see it. But yeah, there's a lot of powder sticking around the sentiment, but I decided it didn't really matter because I was going to die cut them out. So I take the coordinating die, which takes a little while to work out which one's which, and then I get it. And then I am going to die cut each of the sentiments out, but also with 2 additional layers to stack underneath. And that also just kind of uses up that scrap of cardstock. I always think that that's a good way of getting everything used up, is if you can die cut extras from the bits that are there. As people who have watched my channel know, I quite often do a session of just die cutting or just stamping and die cutting sentiments from all of my scraps, because I keep every scrap that's usable in my opinion, which includes some quite small pieces. I've not done it for a while, so I think I'm probably going to have to do a few more. I don't think there's any happy birthdays, for example, in my pouch. I think there's probably just a few of the ones I don't use as frequently, like the feel better soon or get well kind of things. Well, I don't tend to send cards when people are poorly, but also I've just fortunately, let's say fortunately, not really had the need to send one. And then I am just going to glue those in place, including the little mat and layer that's underneath it. This one takes a bit of fiddling. And I am just adding the wet glue and sticking them down. And now I'm going to make my card bases for these. So I just take some white cardstock, and this is the way I do it. It's a piece of A4. I score it at 10.5 centimetres, which is my standard size for a card width. And then I fold it over and burnish it, and then I take my trimmer and cut the excess off. It's just my quickest way of making this shape of card. It fits perfectly in a DL envelope. Job's a good one. I had made these a little bit too long though. I wanted them to have a slight frame around the edge, so I just trim a little bit off those card toppers and then I glue them down. And that is pretty much it. So actually a really simple set of cards. Are they masculine? Yes. Could they be used for girls too? Yes. If I was making it knowing it was going to a girl, would I have stuck a flower on it? Of course I would. That's what I do. I love making cards with flowers on. I love making them pretty. So this feels really plain and a little bit boring, if I'm perfectly honest, but it fulfills the brief of a masculine card that I would be more than happy to give to my husband, to one of his friends, or a work colleague, etc. That's what it would do. So please subscribe to see more. Thumbs up. Till next time. Bye bye.